So the Under2 Coalition is going to be 10 years old this year. If we look back at the last decade, it's made tremendous achievement in terms of accelerating climate action for subnational governments. These are governments that are called states, regions, and provinces. It started out as an idea at COP21, just this ambition. The governments at that level had something to contribute. These are governments that are affected by climate change. They're often the level of government closest to people, and they were a really important player in tackling the effects of climate change. So from that small idea, like we need to bring these governments together, that their voice is stronger together, we've grown to a coalition of over 270 governments who are really at the forefront of innovating on what can be done to tackle climate change. In Asia, we have 19 governments that are part of the Under2 Coalition. These come from a wide range of countries as diverse as from South Korea, Japan, Indonesia, and India. Governments who are really at the forefront of taking climate action and showing what's needed in this region that's so critical for climate impact. For example, in Maharashtra, which is a state in India, they've implemented an initiative in 43 of their cities that represent 75% of its urban population, to demonstrate how they're going to achieve net zero. This is aligned to India's national plan for how they will meet their net zero targets. So it's a really good example of how subnational governments can complement the actions of national governments in striving to achieve the change that we want to see. Another example is Cheongnam government in South Korea. They've pioneered an initiative by which banks are required to show how they are working towards renewable energy targets. This model has now been taken up by 56 other cities in South Korea, demonstrating how something that starts in a state can really have a domino impact and be taken up more broadly. Asia as a region is responsible for 45% of GHG emissions. And we know that they need 1.7 trillion annually in order to tackle the impacts of climate change and meet their socio-economic development goals. That's a huge amount of money. But what we really need to make sure is that those funds go to the levels of government that are really driving action on climate change. So what we do as a coalition is amplify their voices, showcase the action that they're taking, and ensure that their voices and their needs are heard. Because it's really important that we empower this level of government, because without them, we're never going to achieve net zero goals.